YouTube comments from a video titled, "Millions of Americans Just Got Screwed Out of Healthcare." Part 5.
At Wild Sarah 2645 wrote,
Use direct primary care. I pay $223/month for a family of 3 for direct access to a DR who doesn't take insurance. We're mostly healthy normal cold/flu for us and the 5-year-old, so we don't use him very often. But when I can text, get an appointment the same day with a DR who knows us, priceless.
Achala 9917 wrote,
What you fail to realize about single-payer healthcare is for-profit insurance companies are removed, drastically lowering cost already. The pool of customers is 350 million, which grants stronger leverage in price negotiations. And the government can directly pay hospitals with a flat profit rate, i.e. 5 to 10% on services, NOT 500% under the current system. You don't know shit about healthcare economics, so stop talking about.
Itchfit wrote,
What if you need the 100K surgery like in the first month? You want that risk, okay, fine. You can't say you'll save enough by not paying premiums for X number of years. That's just stupid.
Theplarink wrote,
My employer just did the open enrollment for medical insurance. My total for the year will be $1,976. This includes dental, vision, short and long-term disability. This is for a single person. How are these single people having to pay $800 a month?
A Candy Cane Lane 99 wrote,
I went from paying $0 for the last 2 years for my health insurance that they finally made affordable for everyone, and now it's going up to $600 plus. Thanks, Trump. I'll be going without it. Cheaper to pay out of pocket now. BTW, I only officially make $1,300 a month.
A Gurge Bob wrote,
Half these people on the internet complain are planning on having 1 or 2 more rug rats, which will make their plight more difficult. People are morons.
At Nightwing 300 wrote,
Wait until they have to get an MRI scan and then surgery. You and the people on the video will find out exactly how much that cost out of pocket. Thank God I had my employer insurance plan.
A Kimberly Swenson T7G wrote,
I have a friend that lives in Canada where they have universal health care. She comes to the U.S. for her health care because there is such a long wait to get in to see a doctor in Canada.
At Alexats 1415 wrote,
This may be CA Obamacare. I have a job, work for a corporation, and my insurance premium is almost $200 lower compared to last year. I guess I should be happy. $560 for family plan.
At Gammers 00760 wrote,
Cash is actually cheaper than paying insurance for most ordinary services. I mean, if your deductible is $5,000, premiums $100 a month, you're already $6,200 in each year. I'd rather just pay the $200 DR visit, $100 in meds, and be done.
At Blue Yellow 3621 wrote,
I had health insurance for 1 year at work, paid over $3,000, never stepped foot in doctor's office, never had any prescription meds taken. It was huge money waste, so I canceled health insurance and lived without it for 22 years and got it just recently. I don't smoke, drink alcohol very rare, no grubs, no standard American diet, no fast food cook at home. I think it's a scam, not a care.
A Kakamking 57 wrote,
It's actually a false notion to say that countries that have free health care have higher taxes. They actually on average have the same or lower taxes than the United States. So we are getting FSCED and paying more in general. Their tax rates are around 10 to 45%, but they have free university, health care, and paid vacations and paternity and maternity leave. We get none of that, and our stuff goes to bombing countries.
At WAV Manipulator wrote,
Botswana is selling their citizenship. You can buy it for $75,000, but here is the best fringe benefit of it all is they have a free universal health insurance UHC for life just by being a citizen. Just think about this for a second.
At Pamela Demaray 8555 wrote,
How would you like to be a senior citizen, my husband? And I pay $1,000 a month for our Medicare and supplement, and it doesn't cover dental or eye care or hearing aids, which most old people needs glasses and work on their teeth. My son was on my insurance when I worked. He aged out at 26 before he got off my insurance. I told him go get everything checked out and go get your teeth checked and any work you need get it done. I told him you're young and healthy, you will be fine till you get your own insurance.
At Dr. Witty Banter wrote,
Expect death rates to spike like something unreal. No health, no food, no peace. PPL will have to choose between paying their med bills or the lights, water, and rent. This can't go on.
At Midnightalight 7210 wrote,
If you are young and healthy, health insurance is a scam. If you don't have insurance when you go to the doctor, you get huge discounts. Same with buying medicine. That's because healthcare isn't really that expensive. They just charge insurance companies that much to get rich. Obama mandating insurance was wrong, and then subsidizing it was worse, because it meant insurance companies would just charge as much as the government was willing to pay. If you're young and healthy, don't fall for it. You don't need it. Also, insurance was cheap as hell before Obama did this. Employers used to provide health insurance until Obama jacked up the rates. Abolish the ACA.
Michelle A.T. wrote,
Your cost of insurance depends on how much your employer is willing to contribute towards the cost. The people complaining about their cost need to complain to their employer.
At Gregoribalin 4672 wrote,
Shop the perimeter of the grocery store and you don't need insurance. Also, you double down and won't be supporting the large corporations that make that cheap food. Modified starch and seed oils, the two cheapest calories on the planet.
At Mel Gray 4530 wrote,
14% is gross income in Germany. Business and employees. There's a cap on price of medicine in other countries. There's no cap on medicine in the United States. You could charge whatever. Health insurance for profit. Health insurance is not for profit in other countries.
At Titania Bell 8682 wrote,
At least these new 26-year-olds will not be penalized for not having insurance like Obama did when he was in office. Anyone that didn't have insurance at the time were penalized to spend $1,000 each time until they got insurance. Affordable Care Act my ass. There's nothing affordable when you are broke and can't afford insurance yet forced to get it or be penalized for money that you don't have.
At Mixed Girl 8967 wrote,
Unfortunately, in Cali, you will get penalized $900 per person and $450 per kid, so you have to have medical coverage. While I feel lucky, I only pay $360 a year for 2 people, but I have a high deductible. We don't really go to the doctor anyways.
At Nil_Path wrote,
This got buried this week, but Marjorie Taylor Greene leaked in an interview that 100 million people stopped paying their taxes. Do you know what that means? That's like half of all adults. Everybody has stopped filing and paying. The government is terrified. They act like they're shutting down the IRS, but it's because everyone learned it's a scam or got so pissed they just stopped filing. They all know they no longer have the consent of the people for taxation, and they can't let it out because it would bring the whole thing down.
Kbro F3T wrote,
My total insurance is $1,800 per month, which is almost completely health. It is a good plan and covers majority of everything, but it's very expensive. However, I have 7 kids, so I feel like I can't not have it. Although the cost would be the same whether I had 2 children or 7. I do have 1 child with serious needs, and it does pay for itself because of that, but that was the cost before they knew of his condition. That's literally just the cost of the family plan, and has been for about 5 years that I've had it.
At Eris Paris 3 wrote,
2 of my kids have chronic conditions and 1 have mental health issues that requires therapy 2 to 3 times weekly plus meds. She can't be without insurance. I pay almost $800 per month. Not to mention I have chronic conditions myself, including cardiac. The stress from the gov is making everything worse.
At Fraudsniffer 7280 wrote,
Most of the comments here are profoundly dumb. A bunch of people bragging about not having health insurance or claiming they're going to stop paying for it. Yeah, okay. Come back here and let us know how that worked out for you if you ever find yourself in the ER or otherwise needing expensive treatment. There's a reason NOT, having health insurance, causes nearly 1 million Americans to file for bankruptcy every year. You're playing financial roulette if you knowingly and purposefully don't have health insurance. But some people need to learn their lessons the hard way. Making dumb financial decisions has consequences, as it should.
At Rico 69 it wrote,
ACA is welfare. Stealing from the taxpayers. Go research WHO makes money because of Obamacare HIT insurance company, politicians and YES employers who stopped providing healthcare because it benefited them.
At MS Geblamatrix wrote,
I don't have dental insurance. If I pay cash for my upcoming tooth removal and x-ray, it's $400 plus 30% off for paying cash. A cleaning twice a year is $100 each. That's still cheaper than if I took the dental insurance monthly by my job. I am not excited about the upcoming open enrollment for my health insurance. It's about to get terrible.
At David Weimer 3556 wrote,
I have been paying $1,100 for the past 5 years. That's been the cost because everyone goes to the ER or urgent care when they get a cold.
At Velasquez 5442 wrote,
I'm 42 and I had health insurance through my employer. I was paying $500 a month and my premium was $7,500. I was never going to reach my premium. I had to pay my bills at 100% price plus my high insurance payment. Also, I was recommended to get breast imaging every 6 months for 2 years for a total of 5 screenings at $900 each A&DBC. They are no longer considered preventative. I had to pay out of pocket every time. I dropped my insurance this year, and may God help me BC. I am a ticking time bomb for cancer since my dad and 2 sisters had it dad and 1 sister passed away.
At Shannon Eves 8475 wrote,
Add up all the taxes you pay state, sales, property, income, payroll, etc., and we pay more in taxes than the countries that have a flat tax rate with medical care. We just spread our taxes out so it sounds better.
DL Fiver wrote,
So that girl paying $1,100 a month for family, it gonna be paying $3,300 a month for insurance next year. That's almost $40K per year. That's freaking insane. Goodbye, healthcare system. No one is gonna have insurance anymore. Good riddance.
At Iowa Brian wrote,
I got quoted for ACA in 2013 or 2014 after being laid off, was going to be $1,400/month. I just got a cheap catastrophic plan until I found another position. ACA has never been affordable unless you are very poor. If I was in my 20s and healthy, I would not have insurance, but save that money or invest it just in case.
At Half, Asset Gaming 6193 wrote,
I currently pay $180 a month. If that were to triple, I'd cancel and drop that cash into Bitcoin, only withdrawing when I need to pay cash for medical care. F this insurance BS.
At Melanie Mariethers wrote,
If you get sick, you don't tell a soul. You get a visa to live in Europe and buy an expat healthcare plan, move and abroad. Then you go see a doctor and let them discover you are sick.
Heather T1U wrote,
When I grew up, there was no healthcare after 18 from parents unless one was a full-time student. So they can bite me. Their parents have paid more than their share.
At MacDaddy50 wrote,
My son is lucky. He turns 24 tomorrow. Although I worry about my son-in-law and 3-month-old granddaughter. Both are under his ACA healthcare insurance program. He currently pays $300 a month.
Jonathan wrote,
Here is one for you. I worked at a job where I was shifting between contract companies at the same job. Leave one company on Friday, work for a new contract, same job on Monday. Old company ended coverage on Friday. Had to go to the hospital that weekend for a couple of days. Still in the middle of a lawsuit over that one. Well, $57,000 in bills later, I call the hospital and work out payments on the remaining $50K or so. I was informed that the cost to me was around $4,800, since I didn't have insurance. If I did have insurance, the deductible would have been $3,500 anyway. Scam.
At Lucas MF1TC wrote,
I pay $2,400 a month for me and my daughter to have insurance. I pay out of pocket because if I used my insurance, I would be told no for all tests.
Assumer 4.0 wrote,
Amazon may be offering Prime members health insurance in order to gain access to medical records. I wouldn't be surprised if they start offering health tracking devices and apps in the near future.
Dan the Manawam wrote,
Thanks, Obama and Pelosi. I heard premiums were going to at least double since the credits are set to expire, maybe triple. My premium was going up parentheses 10 to parentheses 15% per year. And shitty Kuvri with high deductible and co-insurance stayed the same.
At FastSlow WQT8XF wrote,
It would cost me $1,200 for my family of 3 to keep my insurance if I lost my job. I still have to pay half that. I would be really screwed if I didn't have it these last 2 years.
At Stephen Phillips 3466 wrote,
Here come Democrats to scare the citizens before the midterm election, always scaring/scamming people. Climate disaster, ozone hole, acid rain, COVID, population bomb, run out of oil, nuclear energy scare. Crying about CO2 while the Democrats and liberal Hollywood elites fly across the world in private luxury CO2 crapping jets.
At the Home Expert 5 wrote,
Another big scam is baby or infant or child life insurance. I try to convince a woman that it was insane to pay for this every month when the odds were so low, and she was brainwashed, as are most Americans. People are stupid. Extended warranty on a Toyota? Yes, please, for the idiot.
At Dantas Crystal 3017 wrote,
Young people don't need insurance. She's beautiful and she doesn't have to worry about anything. A simple Simon will show up and will take care of her. I'm talking about the first girl. She's gorgeous. Heck, I'd take care of her in a second.
At Nilek Nile 6748 wrote,
When Obamacare was enacted, my company insurance went from $68 a month with a $2,500 deductible to $480 a month with a $5,000 deductible. So yes, you are wasting your money if you are young. Pay the $75 fine and pay for your own treatment. It's cheaper. It's all about funding healthcare for illegal aliens and subsidies for rich people. YOU, however, get to eat cake, as far as they are concerned. Now get back to work, Surf. You have to pay for Hector's back surgery.
At Kelly Boggs 6079 wrote,
My buddy came up with the idea for free drinks at the bar. He gave me a cucumber and told me after we drank a few to hang the pickle out my zipper, and he would pretend to slob on my knob. The bartender got furious and kicked us out without paying. This went on all night. He told me he was feeling bad about this, and perhaps this was not a good plan, though we enjoyed free drinks all night. I then told him, yet I'm not feeling good either because I lost the pickle several bars back.
At Nick Score 74 wrote,
All US citizens should cancel their health insurance because that will make those greedy health insurance companies lower their premiums. It's disgusting how much you guys get ripped off in the US, because in Europe it's nothing like what you guys have to pay and put up with.
At The Home Expert 5 wrote,
I don't know how we're supposed to take any woman seriously who coats herself with makeup for an hour every morning and then maybe also has extensions to the hair, and they go through society dressed up like a primordial priest of some sort. How are we supposed to take them seriously simply as a person?
At Caberer 112009 wrote,
And that's when I realize how much I love my double nationality and go to OEPDOM to get my stuff done. RUT channel $1,000 USD here. They try to charge 7K some work.
At Nick Score 74 wrote,
Jack is a UK citizen. You're wrong about the National Health Service here. We only pay 4% and T5% of our weekly salary towards the NHS. Sure, it isn't perfect as you can be put on a waiting list to get a surgery done. But if it's an emergency like you're rushed into hospital and need surgery, they'll do it immediately. The NHS isn't perfect, but it's damn sight better than US healthcare. What's been making our NHS worse is privatization, much of it tied to US healthcare companies.
At Ivan Jr. 4849 wrote,
Once all these illegals came here and racked up insane taxpayer medical bills, the medical part of our system was doomed. It's rare that medical will reset and decrease once a lot of these illegals are gone. This was a Democrat-forced issue, and now they're using their medical friends to increase prices.
At The Home Expert 5 wrote,
To the stupid, ignorant, woke woman at the beginning of the video, I am 60 years old and did not have health insurance until I was 58 years old. How did we manage? We took care of our health.
At Michelle Robinson 4815 wrote,
I paid for college working at law firms. At one, I processed bankruptcies all day. All were from medical bills like accidents or sudden illness or, ironically, the joyful event of childbirth. That is the way to deal with an apocalyptic medical bill. It's disgusting that our system is set up this way. Just know that it really hurts your credit for 7 to 10 years.
At Real Estate a Dealmaker 6001 wrote,
If hospitals don't pay staff well, there won't be people who will go to school to get those degrees. Then they won't have staff, and the hospital will not exist. Supply and demand healthcare is expensive because you have to pay people what they are worth.
At Sunrise 7025 wrote,
I recently went in for my dental appointment for my annual cleanup. I pulled out my Blue Anthem, asked how much it was. And the woman behind the screen replied with a smile. No, that will not be necessary from now on. You're covered. And then she winked at me. I kind of felt special.
At Ellen H5 I wrote,
Jack, I have what's considered good dental insurance, and it still covers practically nothing. If you had dental, you likely would have paid close to what you've already paid. That's how bad things are.
At Blaze 1848 wrote,
Obamacare made all insurance premiums double overnight across the board, including for employer-provided insurance. The insurance companies knew that they were getting more premium payments from the gov and that more people would be on insurance, so they jacked up the rates to increase their profits. It's all a money laundering, theft of the taxpayer scheme. It never should have continued this long.
At Jocelyn 8935 wrote,
The only potential good thing to come from this is people must be more proactive about their health. We all need to eat, sleep better, and exercise more. If any major medical issues, then we're screwed.
At Kathleen Briggs 8791 wrote,
If you go to hospital and end up with a big bill, no insurance pay a bit every month on good faith. They can't send to collections if you are paying something. I don't know if it's different state to state.
At the Turkishire wrote,
Here in Canada, the average Canadian pays 10,000 extra taxes for inferior health care. Thousands of Canadians die each year on waiting lists for surgery. BTW, I've been at RN for the last 27 years, so if Canadians come here and say it's false, I've seen it and heard it all.
At Dawn 5662 wrote,
Yeah, without my health insurance and medicine, I literally have about 5 years. It's absolutely not fair. But for me, this battle is fought from a place of victory. When I do pass from this world, I will walk the streets of heaven whole.
At Jeremia 74 wrote,
Dude, they have excellent dentists in Mexico just over the border. They speak English. Dental work is so expensive in the States, they figured they can make a lot of money just over the border by putting good dentists just over the border. Prices are a 1/3 the price at worst. I know a guy that went to 2 dentists in the States. They both gave him a $60K estimate. He paid $20K with the flight and night stay and was very happy with the work. They do everything a dentist do here.
The Zaround wrote,
Imagine a futuristic world like is portrayed in either Star Trek Next Gen or THE Orville, and in this almost utopian environment you just go CDR Beverly Crusher in sick bay or some other futuristic doctor with all of those little laser things that instantly zap away injuries like magic. Imagine living in that kind of a world and learning in a history class about the health insurance companies centuries earlier and people going into medical debt or ending up homeless due to having to pay medical expenses. To the people of that world, it would be a horror story.
At Amit the Dvorovsels wrote,
Beachfront condo, everything you have is stolen and you're giving us a pity party? Sold your soul, didn't you? You ripped yourself off if you sold your soul. Gone now. Wells dry. Can't locked out. You wanted Jezebel, she took your face off your sexual organs, you anus goes boom gone, you're going to Rosie the Riveter, build back better. You wanted Jezebel, she sent you into Rosie the Riveter, build back better. Can't locked out. I'll be meeting with the Shack tomorrow, Admiral Byrd Space Force Guardian Program. These little criminals are going to Rosie the Riveter, build back better. Did your anus explode yet? Because it will. Did your sexual organs explode yet? Because they will boom gone. Everything I have is stolen. Tartarus, click, 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 and I'm complaining about my stolen stuff I didn't earn. Why was Tartarus upset? Click, 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 the devil revoke your soul contract then. You sold your soul, it's up to the devil now, being you're the devil's slaves if you sold your soul. Pope Francis said hell to the no. Hillary pulled the trigger. The humans were cut off, the animals were cut in. They're getting puppy food stamps and a Noah's Ark ID badge for puppy food stamps. Now you humans are cut off. It'll happen. The Vatican chocolate Chihuahua 34 DU now, they're getting the puppy food stamps now. Frugal Granny. Chips. Eric Estrada chips. Because you can't think past 3 days zebra blood, I'm not injecting myself with feces, oops, I meant elixir, it's feces. Can't 5 months of scorpions stinging, they'll be begging for death, but death doesn't come. You greedy little Babylonians, poor me, my diamond shoes are too tight, I have too many $100s in my wallet. I've got a stolen bank account and I'm complaining about it. Ring of the Magi means time's up. When the ring of the Magi shows up, the devil sends his hellhounds. Yea, on your channel now, Cerberus Fenris Wolf. Willingly, or do we have to eat your face? Cerberus. Crowley Samil chucked a massive snake at its time for the hellhounds. Because the animals want puppy food stamps. The animals were here before you humans. The animals want puppy food stamps. It'll happen. And put bites off its head. Willingly, or do we need input? It's okay, the military and government contracted me to do this MI5 Blackwater clearance. We don't need a warrant, just kick. You need Juan Valdez for this. The deepest of deepest doo-doo. Let this sink in. You face falls off, you sexual organs explode, boom, gone, your anus goes boom, gone, already inside you, your Cree. LAW Venom MTA DARPA military grade tactical surgical precision accurate AI scorpions, because you pissed off Poseidon Tartarus Leviticus, you pissed off the wrong bull, carp, the wrong ant, the wrong chihuahua, the wrong field mouse named Titty Mon, your jailer keck snap, that's not good, John Kerry Aka Rockot UDAYONE. Project Earth Vatican, these whores in a jar wrote only $3 every 12 years, senders POW permanently, no vacation, no free time, no luxury, barely anything, just breadcrumbs. Pope Francis said hell to the no, then he fake died, then Pope Leo came in, then Poseidon's representative showed up, then Marduk said ready. Then Gabriel's highest form Sobek the Annihilator showed up, sorry Haiti, boom, gone. You've awakened the alpha shrimp. Now the cherubim are here. Apollo ripped out your teeth and claws, I'm not going to lie. Needs dental work. Sorry Andrew Tate about your teeth and claws. You wanted a sacrifice. Got it. He said hell to the no. Rex. Nate said something about pulling under the nose really hard. We are Cree. We just chop ALL, gone, no more criminals. Poseidon said you didn't listen. Begging for death for 5 months of scorpions stinging. You're trapped, the midget kingdom said Excalibur drop and lock you in. Enjoy your begging for death, but Azrael hits ignore. We're used to it, you're not, everything you have is stolen. Imposter. That's going to hurt. If you're soulless, you don't have a choice. Shiva Parham rodent pull into a cybergenetic Excalibur cage into a jar with your scorpion. Remember, they said don't hold back. Would you like a side of nightmares in Nightmare Hall? No sleep for 5 months. Alligator Alcatraz? You can't. You signed the soul contract. Azazel has been pulling them in one by one, brick by brick. Blackwater. You refuse to admit it. No tongue. WWW Archangel Metatron file. You contracted me to do this in the end. Didn't we steal from you? The plagues and the dud, yes. Tartarus reclaims everything stolen. Russian probe it is. He's a biggin, this probe is a biggin. You signed the soul contract. If we do it again, ITIS finished, Russian probe, boom, gone. Good luck. Excalibur speaking.
At East Village Ellis Rentals, 8104 wrote.
Gee. We have to pay for shit now? What? I have to work? What? I have to pay rent? What? Welcome to THE Real World. ITS a reality show. Shocking ISNTIT? Welcome. Ha ha ha.
A Snappy Panstance wrote.
It's so good to see so many others seeing that this is all a scam anyhow. We all will do better to take better care of ourselves anyhow. They never cared about truly taking care of their customers anyhow.
A Spectrum of Reality wrote.
Everyone should stop paying and all types of insurance across the board around the entire globe and watch these predatory leeching companies sink into insolvency and become obsolete overnight. This would be wicked.
At Lori Johnson 7754 wrote.
2 seniors. One has a free prescription plan and one doesn't. 2 supplemental plans with Medicare. We also have dental, low vision plan, $825 a month, highway robbery. Yes, we can go Medicare Advantage, but then you need pre-approval, and it's a network of doctors.
As Blaze 1848 wrote,
The thing that needs fixed isn't that the gov needs to keep subsidizing healthcare at this rate. It's that the gov needs to rein in these fucking insurance companies. They're scamming all of us. They're scamming the gov. They're getting rich beyond belief. All insurance companies, not just medical. They shouldn't be allowed to screw us over like this.
At Andrew Lukidis JR2BP wrote,
You're one accident away from being bankrupted. They will garnish your wages. Hospital bills are one of the top causes of bankruptcies. It should be free for the supposed richest country in the world.
L Scores 1982 wrote,
They're not lying. I just went to renew, and I was paying 58 PO in T00 a month. The plans are starting at nearly 1,000 PO in T00 a month. I'll go back to paying out of pocket. I will talk to my DR to see if I can win off of some meds.
At Stone 7337 wrote,
My brother had a tree fall on him recently and it broke his back. His medical bills are already past $250,000 and climbing. Now let's talk about someone over 50. 82% of people over 50 are on more than one prescription drug, not to mention comorbidity or numerous pre-existing illnesses. Oh, brother.
At Rel-Let1 wrote,
Insurance business model is not paying. That should never be allowed to provide healthcare. Also, policies should have a total payout amount that you use for healthcare, and they have pay with no denial, so if you get 1 million coverage, you have access to that to treat the illness.
At The Happy Heretic 2136 wrote,
I have so-called health care. You have to avoid it at all costs if you want to live long and well. The care is subpar at best and snake oil death dealers at its worst. The doctor is a sales rep, and they hate self-advocating patients. They think they are gods, and you're just a lowly peasant. They cover nothing without a mountain of paperwork work.
At RacerX 888 wrote,
I thought Americans were always laughing at Canada's healthcare system, but we don't pay for doctor's appointments, surgeries, or just about anything else other than a fee to fill prescriptions at the drugstore. And our employer health care costs about $150 a month for an employee and spouse, and that gives us additional coverage for drugs, travel insurance, and a life insurance policy. Your government was lying to you about Canada and your own healthcare systems.
Evan Zamalu wrote,
I'm 30 and never had health insurance or dental insurance. I pay out of pocket. In my adult life, I've only gotten sick 2x. I know how to take care of my body.
Eddie Zinsimp wrote,
Insurance is a scam until you need a $100,000 surgery that they won't cover anyways. Plus, the surgeon is only able to charge that $100,000 because people use insurance to help cover the cost. Health insurance prevents medical costs from being subject to the forces of supply and demand.
Tinsy Bell wrote,
Baby doctors people that when you have a baby and they do surgery, they also make sure you get several opinions and bring your husband and wife, go to an appointment with your husband and wife.
Adamerzan wrote,
If you have diabetes and decide to dance with the devil, you'll be dancing until they cut your legs off because of complications due to diabetes. Then dancing is over with. I was diagnosed with cancer in 2019, and if I hadn't have insurance, I probably wouldn't be here today. My insurance paid out over $150,000 for my surgery, my CT scans, and my year-long immunotherapy, while I paid around $10,000 out of pocket. Today my cancer is in remission. And I keep doing my scans and checkups with my oncologist on regular basis. You don't need health insurance until you need it.
At 5, Strawberry Dragons wrote,
We are paying for those who don't take care of their health. This is BS. It needs to be pay per use. I went to my doctor's once last year, but paid hundreds a month.
Tinsy Bell wrote,
Because I had health insurance, the doctor lied and said I was going to go blind if I didn't have surgery. They lied when I had another surgery. They would not have if I didn't have health insurance. They take advantage of you.
As Sloucho from Locals wrote,
Don't eat sugar, don't drink alcohol, don't smoke, do regular, light exercise, and get plenty of fresh air and sunlight. That would cure the vast majority of chronic disease cases.
At The Only Onion Peeler wrote,
Good luck convincing the doctors, nurses, dentists, hospitals, clinics, and urgent care centers to take a pay cut. They need to continue affording their yachts, mansions, investments, luxurious vacations, and the many different cars that they got.
A Jordan TQ2JC wrote,
Just for reference, I'm 40, before the ACA my wife, and I paid $320 with a $1,500 deductible for full healthcare coverage on the open market or through either of our jobs. I don't need to tell you what it costs now.
At Unapologetically Jax wrote,
Canadian here. 47% taken off wages in taxes. ANDR healthcare sucks. IT used to be good. Up to 20 years ago. Not anymore. No duress. And you can't just go to a DR and pay them privately here. It's not legal. So PPL who need life-saving medical staff dying waiting in queue here, or they go to the States or Europe of wherever if they can afford to. And pay out of pocket.
At Timswogger 8381 wrote,
Why pay the outrageous premiums the insurance companies want just so you can go see a doctor who only wants to get you on pharmaceutical meds and make you a customer for life?
At FightSetQuivide 3486 wrote,
42% of food stamps money has gone to illegals. How much tax money has gone to illegals? You said DRS make money, maybe yes. But the runway to become a DR is so long and expensive. When they get to the DR's pay grade, they are near middle age.
At JC8422 wrote,
Wow, this one really speaks to me. I'm turning 26 in December, and my parents told me I needed to sign up for health insurance. It's $280 a month, which I definitely wasn't expecting, and I'm not willing to pay that. I haven't been to the doctor in 8 years, and I'm someone who usually insures everything, my phone, laptop, jewelry, even full coverage for my car. But health insurance just feels ridiculous. I'd rather save the money and pay out of pocket if I ever need to. BTW, it was $280 for the lowest coverage. That is insane.
At Schliff22 wrote,
I got my wife on catastrophically insurance, and I just pay cash when she goes to the doctor, and it's much cheaper. I think we pay $200 a month for the catastrophic insurance.
At Charles Von BM9GQ wrote,
Jack, the ACA policies are a welfare program. It was heavily subsidized by ME. While we have to pay for our own health care. How is that fair? Jack.
At Lori Johnson 7754 wrote,
The first lady I dropped the vision and dental. Dental is the biggest RIP off ever. Plus you can get cheap eye exams and glasses. Vision insurance isn't worth it either.
At Irvin Norris 7041 wrote,
Ain't no way Amazon is going to keep healthcare at $9 a month. Once they have enough customers, they will jack it up to $99 a month.
At Walter Beck 433 wrote,
Also, the government dictates how much you could go to the doctor, if you can have surgery or not, or how long you have to wait for that surgery or medication.
At John Doe X4F wrote,
Healthcare way too expensive, poor people priced out. When you gotta make monthly payments on thing to break down in the future. Really, it mostly females are the sickly creatures must not be from Earth. Lucky I'm in my 60s and never had need of doc. Hate to think of paying 40 years and nothing when I pass, bury me face down so Democrats can kiss my ass.
A Jail by 6C wrote.
Strange thing I learned when buying a house. My credit was okay enough, but I had medical debt. My lender told me that doesn't factor into home loans. I'm not sure if I'm right about this, but I haven't taken medical bills serious ever since. I have insurance through my employer, but last time I had medically necessary surgery, I just ignored the $5,000 the hospital billed me. I can't afford them or to die either. So life must go on, and I have other bills that are priority.
At Ramen Noodle Packets wrote.
I'm the harbinger of bad news. You want to know why this world is the way it is right now? Too many humans with not enough to go around. Things are just not working, so the system is asking for more, and you are getting less. We all did this to ourselves.
At Nancy Hanscom 1374 wrote.
We never had health insurance as young adults with kids. Worked for ourselves and made little enough to get medical paid by is you're poor you don't pay.
At John Casey 5594 wrote.
2 thoughts. In Canada, we have single-payer health care. Now I know many Americans scoff at it, but a lot of that is lies. Emergency room visits are horrible, that's true. I mean, pack a lunch-type waits. Expect 6 to 8 hours if you are not on your deathbed. Sometimes specialists, you have to wait weeks to a few months. Family doctor, I am in the waiting room 5 to 10 minutes. No monthly payments. I have never brought my credit/debit card to a hospital, specialist, or DR apt, and no follow-up bill in the mail. Now I do have work insurance for all the stuff that is not covered, $300, $400/month. That covers dentists, prescriptions, optometrist, physio, massages, and so much more. Second thought. Obamacare is trying to be single-payer, but because they are keeping insurance companies in the mix, it drives costs way up.
At Sinrayu Sakari 3163 wrote.
I got sick in the military and had to be medically retired. Fortunately, the costs don't break the bank with or without children. There's medication I have to take regularly, and fortunately my medical team is supportive of alternative medicine practices and lifestyle improvements. I do pay a premium to see a doctor of my choice with a $38 copay.
At Russ Thompson 4296 wrote.
If you end up in a hospital, negotiate payments up front and be very honest about what you can pay. Most hospitals rather you do cash than deal with insurance. The cash price is often 1/3 the insurance price,